What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this, I wanted to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. I'm going to break down some details about the Chinese deal that just came out, what's going on with CPIs. The numbers are looking quite decent, how this is affecting the market moving forward. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. Deposit $5,000, you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. The offer ends at the end of July. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with this market. So, looking at SPY, we have a clear left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder for an inverse head and shoulders. And if we continue this uptrend, we could be looking for an attempt to go to all-time highs. Now, that's a big if, right? There's no guarantee we just continue to run and run and run. If we end up turning and losing 599, we could be turning back down to 594 or below. The rising wedge we were talking about, it still technically is there, but it's not looking as strong as before. If SPY keeps this push up, it could try to invalidate this rising wedge. We're just barely holding on to it, so we'll see if this holds or not. But for now, the market does technically look a bit more bullish because we just got this big announcement from President Trump about how full magnets and any necessary rare earth materials will be supplied up front by China as part of the trade agreement. This is some good news after we saw China impose export restrictions on many rare earth materials. So this is going to be very important for the US. We got this deal that was announced by Howard Lutnick and many other important figures in the US because their main goal was to kind of lift restrictions on the rare earth materials that the US needs. And as a result, the outcome has been a bit more positive according to these different reports. On top of this, there's the possibility that US restrictions on lower end AI chips and other semiconductors could be relaxed as we try to see cutting edge chips and other things that are going to remain more stringent when it comes to control. So that's very important news. This could also shift things for stocks like Nvda. And then on top of this, whoops, sorry about that, guys. On top of this, President Trump also announced that rare earth deal is going to be including that the US is going to be imposing 55% tariffs on China still, compared to China's 10%. This was a bilateral relationship, and he mentioned that the relationship is still very excellent between the countries. That's some good news, but Xi Jinping of China has yet to nod on this. He hasn't approved this yet. President Trump has agreed to this, at least so far. And we're seeing that both sides did agree to this, but we're waiting for Xi Jinping to make his announcement to see if he gives it his support, if he gives us a heads up about this. That's all we're essentially waiting for. On top of this, we just got CPI. Core CPI month over month is at 0.1% below expectations. Core year over year is at 2.8%. That is below expectations. All items month over month is at 0.1% below expectations. And then all items year over year is at 2.4%. That's also technically below the 2.5% expectation. So keep that in mind. On top of this, core CPI is very flat right now. It's basically stuck at 2.8%, whereas all items did see a slight increase to 2.4%. That's what we're seeing at least thus far. So that being said, what's happening so far? What do I think is going to go on as time goes on? Well, it depends, right? So one of the things I want to mention is that if you want to be a bear on SPY, you need to see us essentially lose 598. If that fails us, we could be turning back down pretty hard. As long as we're above 598, we're still technically bullish. Also, I want to see SPY try to hold around 602.5. As long as that holds, we're going to likely continue to uptrend for 606 or above to try to retest some of these highs over here. So this resistance right here around 606.8 or above could be tested. So as of right now, we look bullish if we could hold these levels. As long as we hold 602.5, we're favoring an attempt for 606 or above. We could even go to all-time highs if this trend just continues. So keep that in mind. We are still looking a bit more bullish. Let's see if 602.5 holds for confirmation. As long as we don't lose 598, we're looking quite good. On the QQQ, that's a very similar setup. Let's just zoom out for 1 second. So when you zoom out, you guys can see there's a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder. We're going for the all-time high. We're actually very close to it around this 540 area. If we hold above 535, we're going to be favoring an attempt for 537.5, then eventually 540. And if we're bearish, you want to see us lose 530. 530 fails us, we dump to 524. As of right now, we're favoring that as long as we're above 535, we're favoring 537.5 and eventually 540 as our targets. So keep that in mind. On the IWM Russell 2000, we also have this inverse head and shoulders right here. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder. As long as we don't lose 212, we're favoring an attempt to get back up towards this 220 mark. Overall, I think we're looking quite good. If 212 fails us, we could be dipping to 209. As long as we hold that, we're looking for 220 as our target. We look bullish on the IWM as of right now, but we'll see if we can sustain this level. Can we continue to hold above 215 to push to 220? If it starts failing at 215, though, we could be dipping back down to 212. So keep those levels in mind, but we still look bullish for the time being. ES has to hold above 6,050. If that holds, I think we go for 6,100 next. If we fail, however, at 6,000 flat, we're looking for a move back down to 5,980. So watch and see if 6,050 holds. As long as it holds, we're favoring 6,100 as our target. On NQ, as long as we're above 22,000, we're favoring 22,200 as our target. If we lose 21,850, we're looking for a dip to 21,700 or below. So watch and see if 22,000 holds. If it does, we're looking for 22,100 as our target or above. Bitcoin is holding up well. We're consolidating between 110,600 and 108,000. We could be breaking out higher for 111,000 as long as that continues. For Tesla, as long as we're above 335, we're favoring 340 as our targets. And if that breaks, we're looking for this imbalance fill at 346. If we lose 325, we're looking for a dump back down. So far, we're favoring upside as long as we're above 335. We're favoring 340 as our target or above. For Nvda, it likes the deal so far. We'll see if we get another announcement about how certain restrictions are going to be lifted. We need to see this thing lose 142 to turn bearish. And as long as we're above 144, we're favoring 146 as a potential target or above to 148. We still look more bullish. Apple's looking bullish so long as we don't end up losing 200 and 2.5. As long as we're above 202.5, we're favoring 205 again. If we lose that, we could turn back down to 200, but we're still looking quite bullish. On AMD, we're looking bullish so long as we don't end up losing 122 to dip to 120. We're favoring 125 plus as our target. We still look bullish. Coinbase is looking bullish, a little bit more bullish, but I need to see this break and hold above 260 to continue. If we lose 253, we're looking for a dip back down to 248. Well, let's see if we can break 260. We might touch it and we'll see if it rejects or not. There's still this gap down here, so we'll see. This could also resemble kind of like a head and shoulders, but it all depends, guys. Can we hold above these levels? I want to see this break 260 to continue, so give that some time. Amazon's holding up very nicely. We need to see this thing essentially lose 215-ish or 214.75 to dip to like 213. As long as we're above 215, though, we're favoring the 220s and we're looking quite good. Meta's looking more bullish. So long as we don't lose 700, we're favoring upside for basically 710. For Google, as long as we don't lose 180 to dump to 176, this is favoring 185 as our potential target. We're still looking bullish. Look for a test of 182.5 and 185. We still look bullish as long as we're above 180. Microsoft, however, is range bound. We have resistance at 472 and support at 468. We're just trading sideways. If 468 fails, still we could be dipping more, so we'll see how it goes. The VIX is also on a downtrend, so we'll see if we get a break or not. But this is once again a bullish sign for stocks. So Tesla's looking quite bullish. As long as we're above 335, we're going to continue this trend. And then, SPY and the others are also looking bullish. But the question is, can we sustain the levels, right? Can SPY hold above 602.5 or do we lose it to turn back down? The rising wedge is still valid, but we're going to see if we could invalidate this by pushing higher or not. So we are bullish. The trend is still bullish unless we lose the key supports I called out. So I hope that's as clear as possible. We're still bullish at the time I'm speaking. Decent CPI, decent trade deal so far. So we'll just have to see how it goes. So far, the bulls have a bigger edge. Thank you for listening and peace out.